Risky behavior.
Yo, 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 what is up? What is up? What it do? Welcome to Risky Behavior, the podcast where we explore the fascinating and often perplexing world of human actions. Why do we engage in risky behavior? Well, from the complexities of love and relationships to the nuances of religion, politics, and even crime, we'll delve into the choices we make and what drives us. Now, I don't label people as good or bad. Instead, I focus on the behaviors that can lead us down a risky path. Join me as we uncover the motivations behind our actions and examine the intriguing aspects of human nature. Let's get it started. Today's show, I'm doing another worst news ever, which is basically just playing a bunch of news clips. It's gonna be a focus on moms abandoning their children in this one. So I had a couple stories sent to me, especially by my homeboy, the Prince of Petty. Hopefully, he will be ready to come in and join us. First person I want to talk about is Michigan mom who abandoned her kids. All right, I got it up on the screen.
You just can't do kids like that. They can't fend for themselves. I have never in my 60 years of living heard of nobody not checking on nobody.
We're still waiting to find out what the charges will be for the mother accused of leaving her kids inside of this Pontiac home in the worst conditions for years. Allegedly, she only popped up weeks at a time to give out food. In the meantime, the Oakland County Sheriff's Department is taking donations for the teens pulled out of the house by CPS, who are now staying with a relative. One question that remains is how three of these children were able to fall through the cracks with family members, neighbors, teachers, and so many others not being able to tell that something was clearly wrong. Regardless, one organization already trying to help is the Ennis Center for Children.
In the Center for Children are going to donate clothes, hats, shoes, anything else that we can provide to them to help. We're just hoping that we can help our children in any way that we can, that we can provide services and just uplift our children and make sure our children are safe and have a safe space to go to.
Mm-mm-mm. Anywho, why are these women abandoning their kids? It's been a whole bunch of stories lately of women abandoning their kids. Is because I know the first thing people are going to think to themselves is, where are the fathers? Um, Obviously, there's a lack of help when it comes to these women, and the children are suffering because of it. And the title of this article from NBC News: Michigan mother accused of abandoning three children in squalor is charged with child abuse. Uh, It says the Pontiac, Michigan woman who is accused of abandoning her three children to live in squalor for years was charged Wednesday with felony child abuse. Court records show Kelly Bryant, age 34, was charged with 3 counts of first degree child abuse, though prosecutors initially declined to identify. Oakland County prosecutor Karen McDonald disclosed Bryant's name in announcing the charges Wednesday. Man. McDonald told reporters that her office would also represent the Department of Health and Human Services in terminating Bryant's parental rights. And this is a quote that says, "We are simultaneously prosecuting the criminal case against mom and neglect proceeding pertaining to the kids," McDonald said. "We will be asking our client, the Department of Health and Human Services, to file a petition to terminate her rights." Court records do not list any attorney for Bryant, who was in the county jail Wednesday. You know what's funny though is like they always protect children, minors, victims. But I find when it comes to these, and this is another thing I'm talking about today, is why when it comes to children being abused and neglected, why is it always swept under the rug? And even though you'll have a mom that committed a crime against her children, they will hide the mom's name. Just like and that's why I just read this article to show that they don't want to release the mom's name as if she's a victim or a minor or one of these abused children. I always thought that was funny. That happens a lot. I'll be looking up these cases, and that always happens. All right. I got another video coming up. It's a longer video.
Legal Eagles. Still with me, attorneys John Phillips and Michael J. Brown. I want to welcome into the conversation private investigator, former law enforcement officer, and military serviceman. Stunning new developments in the case of 3 Michigan children abandoned by their mother, police say, and left to fend for themselves for years. Look at this. We now got mom's mugshot. This is 34-year-old.
Oh, what up, Prince? I ain't see you come in. I was reading that first initial article, man.
Yeah, bro. You see how crazy it, bro. Even reading that, it almost makes you want to just cringe.
It do. I'm glad, man. So that's the thing. I love like reading the article. Because you hear things that sometimes you don't see on the news, right? And so I'm like, why would they be protecting their name like they're one of the victims or the minors? I don't understand that.
Well, that's something that's been going on for years, and it kind of always been like that, where the woman would commit the most heinous of crimes and not only get a slap on the wrist, but pretty much can stay hidden. Like her information ain't put out. But if a 17-year-old just merely steals a car, a 17-year-old dude just merely steals a car, his social on the news, his social media, you got his first, last name, you got his prom photo, high school, all that, bro. You would think the mothers would be held at a higher standard.
Yep. Yeah, you would think so. I don't get it. They just sweep it under the rug. They don't care about any. I always think that they just don't care that much about crimes when it comes to children, or either, I guess, women's rights. What they say, like supersede children's rights, I guess. Am I using the correct word?
No, you use the correct word, but that's just it. They do that because, man, I had an argument. I don't even know. I don't know why they had to do it. I was trying to come up with something, but damn, no, I don't know why they do it. They just always hide the woman in, bro. It be like the most egregious of things, bro. And wait till you hear the rest of what happened. Her charges, the time she's possibly facing, which I don't believe she's gonna honestly get. On top of this is the Michigan one, correct?
Yep. And I found a video for her on YouTube on what's it?
Did you
Court
get the
TV?
Did you get the walkthrough video I sent you?
Oh yeah, I saw that one. That was crazy. I think on this Court TV, I think I picked the right one. They're gonna actually show some of the inside of the house.
Okay. Man, this one here, bro. This made me want to go find me an assassin in Michigan. Like you don't even get a court. You don't even get a court date. Like somebody just need to offer you.
Yeah, I was kind of sad. I don't know. And then for her to be dropping off food too as well, like it's just weird. The audacity.
Bro, the audacity. She got one of them trees.
All right, let's get into this. I haven't even watched this yet. So
Stunning new developments in the case of 3 Michigan children abandoned by their mother, police say, and left to fend for themselves for years. Look at this. We now got mom's mugshot. This is 34-year-old Kelly Bryant. She is the accused, waking up behind bars this morning, accused of 3 counts of first-degree child abuse, looking at life in prison if she is convicted. Officers found the children, siblings ages 15, 13, and 12, an older boy and 2 younger girls, when the landlord asked for a welfare check. Look at these pictures. So the landlord called attention to the police for the welfare check because Bryant stopped paying her rent in October.
The defendant instructed the kids that they were not to answer the door or leave the house. All 3 children expressed fear about what their mother's response would be if they left the home. Defendant concealed the children from family and friends and lied about who was caring for the kids and their whereabouts.
It's believed that the children had been living like that for 4 years. Can you imagine not being allowed to leave the house? The mother allegedly put fear in them, fear, if they would have left that house, of what would have happened to them. So now we're wondering, what's mom's defense going to be? Let's talk about it. Let's bring in our legal eagles. Still with me, attorneys, John Phillips.
That's insane. 4 years.
I actually read it was 5, like 4 and some change.
It probably is for some change. Either way, terrible.
Well, yeah, either way, terrible. Absolutely, yeah, either way, terrible. But also, I want you to put a pin. I want you to put a pin in something and come back to it later. The reporter said that she lied to family as far as the kids' whereabouts, right?
Yeah.
Put a pin in that.
Oh, okay.
Remember that was said. Put a pin in that.
All right, I'm gonna remember that. Here we go.
Phillips and Michael J. Brown want to welcome into the conversation private investigator, former law enforcement officer, and military serviceman Manuel Gomez. Manuel, let me start with you. Your reaction to this case, and what do you think the defense for mom may be at trial?
Well, in this case, morally, there is plenty of responsibility to go around for how this happened. First of all, the system failed on so many levels. One of the levels that really disturbed me, in 2022, she went to court with her 4th baby's father, and she turned around and he was petitioning for visitation. She told in court that she cannot support herself. She can't support the kids. She's
Hold on.
Well, yeah, plot twist.
How many kids she got?
She has 4.
So she abandoned 3, but she got 4 baby daddies.
Well, however many baby daddies, that aspect they didn't confirm. But she does in fact have 4 children, but
She must not
just
have
like
custody of one of them.
yeah, that one kid is with the child's father. So she lost custody of it. She lost custody of 1. And the other 3 she abandoned. So this is one of those cases that me and you always mention, always kind of talk about. Whereas, like, a lot of women pick the bottom of the barrel men. Everybody you sleep with ain't bad. It got to be you. You're the problem. And this right here is a prime example. Everybody she slept with clearly wasn't bad because not only did this dude get visitation, he has the kid. Period.
Yeah, that's crazy. So it was 3 children found in the home, ages 15, 13, and 12. Deputies found a boy and 2 girls living amongst trash, human waste, and mold. The release said authorities have not identified but it says, I don't know why I put that. Authorities have not identified the children's ages 15, 13, and 12. I don't know why they wrote that like that in this article.
Now, see, they sugarcoating.
Huh?
They're sugarcoating. They're going easy for the sake of the article. The article that I read said that the toilets were stopped up. There was feces all over the floors, all over the walls, and everything. That article, that's the clean version.
That's crazy, and for anybody that has a daughter, the fact that it was two girls there, I just think that's going to affect them a little differently.
Oh yeah.
That's a terrible way to leave children, period. And then even worse for girl, boys was kind of simple, but can you imagine for a young lady?
Bruh.
That's just,
I,
that's just
I
sad.
can't dream of a scenario like this. This can't be made up.
Mm.
It gets worse though.
All right.
He's not capable. And at that point, they should have ordered a wellness check. Nothing was done. And besides that, okay, Board of Ed should have sent a truant officer. These kids were in school during the duration they lived at this residence. And the fact of the matter is, the Board of Ed dropped the ball. Nobody sent anybody. Now, the mother could say they were transferred to another school. But the fact of the matter is, you would have to transfer the educational records. Nothing was ever transferred. There's so many levels here. And I can't see an insanity defense on this case because she was paying the utilities, paying the rent. She knew exactly what she was doing. This woman was capable and culpable.
Oh,
There's no
Not
doubt
only
she's gonna be
that.
found guilty.
boom, drop the mic right there. Capable and culpable. That ought to be the prosecutor's theme, Manuel.
Shamelli, I seen the chick's Facebook.
Oh, she got a Facebook?
Oh, and it's still active. Man, when I tell you this girl was partied up. I mean, she was going out faithfully, running the streets, just selling her body off. I mean, I don't know if she was selling cat or not, but you got kids at home. You should be taking care of them, but you out for what? What time they always say DNA.
So so this whole time she's just been going out partying, having fun, leaving the kids at the house.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I seen somebody wrote in the comments where the daddies was at, and I'm just like, that ain't no excuse to do that to your kids.
That's noise, and bro, I hate that. I hate to see comments like that, and I hate to hear that argument. That has nothing to do with it, whether the fathers were around or not. The fact of the matter is, the children are in your care, man. It is up to you to take care of them and raise them and and protect them.
Now, when I started this video, I said, why are these women? Why is this happening? It's because the father's not there. It's because this, and that. Because if I see a situation where, like, one woman, she got in trouble because she was taking her kid to work and like keeping her in like one of the little office rooms while she clean up and stuff, I ain't gonna be mad at that.
No,
she trying the hardest. She trying to earn money. She don't have nobody watch the kids. She got to work when she can work to take care of her kid. Then I'm gonna say, hey, where's the father to watch that kid so this mom can go to work? But she's having to do all this stuff. Her story was, I could understand that,
Right? Yeah. I can even see that.
Quiet as kept. I mean, my mama clean office buildings, but she just so happened to work for a guy that owned his own business that was a friend of hers, and she would take me with her sometimes. I was a little bit older where I could, just, follow her around and stuff but it happens.
Yeah, when I was younger, I've been to work with my mom, and I mean, truth be told, I helped her. Shoot, my mama got done fast as hell, got paid the whole day too. Left early and everything.
But
I helped.
Yeah, but this so totally different.
Yeah, asking where the father's at in a situation like this, no. You don't deserve to ask that question. No.
Thank you for that. Michael J. Brown, let me go to you next, please. What defense might this lady possibly have?
Obviously, the facts are very disturbing, Julie. The only thing that comes to mind is somebody like this with these set of facts. I certainly would want to get a psychiatrist, a psychologist involved. If there's any hint whatsoever of any type of mental disease, trauma, PTSD from maybe her upbringing or even her relationships, I don't know. But that's the initial thing that comes to my mind in terms of what I would want to explore. Really, that's the only thing that comes to mind.
Sure. No, but appreciate that.
I just want to pause for a minute and say what's up. Shout out to Marcus Banks. How you doing? How you doing?
What up? What up? What up?
I woke up on time, Marcus. I woke up. I didn't think I'd be able to do it, but I did it.
I ain't think it was neither, if I'm being perfectly honest.
You didn't think I thought I wasn't either, man. I don't know how I did it. I said, let me get a power nap in. Let me get a power nap. Because we got off, it's like 5 something in the morning.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, 5, 6 o'clock.
Yep. Crazy.
Because everybody's asking, well, what in the world are we going to see from this woman after we understand, based on what law enforcement has said, that this was an abandonment, but she still kept eyes on them, forcing them to stay there. That's really, I think, what's most stunning. It's just like, okay, so there was power and control exerted on these kids, according to police. John Phillips, I know you got a lot of thoughts, please.
And that's the sign of culpability and conscious decision to do this. One of the things said that she actually had Febreze delivered to the house with some garbage bags so that they could just, spray it to make it smell better. And that the little boy, like once or twice, wanted to go outside just to touch the grass. And as a father of a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 7-year-old, if 4 hours go by, I miss them. If 4 days go by because I'm out of town in trial, I'm on the phone. I can't be away from them. 4 years, like there's a place in hell for that. Excuse my language. Like
yes,
this is
say it, John.
This is awful.
Mm-hmm.
And just the squalor and knowing that it's not going to end with the criminal justice system, because these kids will be damaged for life. And kudos to the sheriff. I know they're raising money and clothes for these kids. If anybody out there has a clothing store or some, teenage preteen clothes, like get in touch with the Oakland Sheriff's Office.
You know who got a clothing store?
Yes, no, it really is. You hope people see this. I know hearts are breaking.
Who?
T.I. and Killer Mike. This is national news. Ain't hear a peep from either one of them.
Oh man, they ain't gonna show up.
Oh, I know that. I know that. I'm saying that to say that everybody's precious black
so
millionaires MIA.
You know what's so crazy? When it comes to people like that, they will show up more likely to help the mom. They're going to use this as a way to say the system is against our people. And this mom the system did this. The mom did not do this. This mom did her best. That's how they would show up. They would show up.
That's what Killer Mike preached.
Yeah, that's what they would do, but they would not show up to just for the kids. They might show up and like, we're gonna show up and help this family. This is the system fault. The system should have helped this mom and the children. She shouldn't be on trial, So that's what they're gonna do.
And something else that I find insulting? The fact that they're asking what is this woman's defense? I find that to be insulting. There is no defense. Her Facebook says it all. Her Facebook literally describes her entire life, minus 4 children.
You know what? I got offended at first, but after watching court TV and the way they do it, they do that for everybody. I don't know why. I got offended the first time I seen them do it, and it still kind of like makes your skin ick, when you hear it. But I guess it's just something they do to be interesting. Like, what excuse to do? I honestly think the lady be being sarcastic, right? Like, what could you possibly, like, you would have to imagine something to get out of this, is what I'm getting from it. Because I don't think she had a defense at all. She would have been better off not defending herself and throwing accusations back on the court, because she went to court. Your Honor, I came to court. I told you I couldn't do it. I'm doing the best I can. I'm working hard. I'm dropping food off at the house. Maybe I wasn't a great mom, but I ain't do everything y'all told me I could do. I just sucked at it. That would be her best thing to do.
Now you just said something again. Put a pin in that.
No,
She's a trash mom, and she's a trash mom, and she sucks at it. Put a pin in that. Because you said you hadn't watched these videos, so I'm kind of leading you into it.
Oh yeah. I ain't watched all these videos. I gotta look up some more. Hopefully, this got enough in it. Let me see.
I'm pretty sure the Court TV one goes
Breaking all
over
around
everything.
the
Oh, okay, cool.
country with this news. I mean, just topping the headlines everywhere you look. People are talking about. I've been getting so many calls and messages about this one. This is a bad case, and thank you for that, John. Let's turn now to another aspect of it, and that pertains to where the kids will live next. So at this very moment, they're in the care of relatives, and according to the sheriff, they didn't know what was even happening. Take a look.
Family is asking, apparently, some of the folks that are now involved with the kids that didn't know, that's another question we've asked, they didn't know what was going on with the kids. They had been told by her that somebody else was babysitting the children or other kinds of things. So they were unaware what was happening so far, according to our investigation.
So what about other people who maybe knew something? Manuel Gomez, I want to go to you on this one. Red flags maybe should have been spotted. What do you think?
Well, you know what? It's correct when it calls about the family. It's been 5 years, almost 5 years those kids were missing. How do you not say, where are your children? And if you're saying, well, they're visiting, they're being taken care of by somebody else, you don't go to see them? Come on. What kind of family is that? Just like my colleague said, if my kid is missing for 4 hours, I missed them. 4 days, a day I missed them. The family didn't miss these kids. And the fact that they were put into the custody of the family is egregious. It is disgusting because these kids need psychological help. Julie, they had a functional cell phone and they were not able to call 911. You're telling me those kids don't need psychological help? That the family is going to provide psychological help, that did not look for them, that did not file a report? I'm sorry.
You're absolutely right. I mean, they need to go back to basics, learn the basic ways to live. They were deprived of soap, for crying out loud, and adequate food. John Phillips, to you next, please. Your thoughts on whether they should be with a family?
Well, again, it's the family that left them behind. And I saw something about the father being in jail and maybe coming out of jail. But the intensive treatment and also, taking it to another level, you're talking about a 15-year-old boy, a 13-year-old girl, and a 12-year-old girl. Guess what? Preteens, pubescent, like I can't even imagine. They had no parenting, no guidance. This is something that a family would want to take them in. But then if you have other kids around, you've got to reprogram them for a while. And no child is a lost cause, and we're going to, I hope society gets this right and enforces this, but there's so much liability to go around. I don't know where you start.
Yeah, my God.
Bro, you can hear the disgust in their voices.
Yeah, that's just sad.
It's going to be.
I don't get it. I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. I hope they come out with more of this and revisit this case. I don't know if they would, because I would be interested to know. You're looking at the age of these kids, they have a cell phone. You mean to tell me they didn't call a cousin, an aunt? I can understand they might not call 911 because they don't want to get their mom in trouble, but they make no phone calls. They that afraid of her. But you say over the course of 4 years.
Mm-hmm. I want to put something on your mind, and I want to put something on your mind, and you tell me what you think about it. this is a spoiler. Remember I told you put a pin in her not being a good parent or whatever the case.
Yeah.
In one of the news reports I saw, they interviewed a friend of hers, the mother or the lady was a friend of the grandmother, the mom's mom, one or the
Yeah.
other. She's a family friend. They interviewed her on the news, and she said that she was a trash mom, but she didn't know it was this bad. So they knew. And guess where the kids are now?
Where?
With the rest of the family. They knew this.
They want them checks.
They want them checks.
Oh, I think I got you. Let me see. I think I found
We
it.
all knew she was a bad parent, but I don't think nobody really realized this was going on.
Charlene Bryant is the former sister-in-law to 34-year-old Kelly Bryant, now facing
Sister-in-law.
child abuse charges after investigators say they found 3 of her kids living alone in squalor for several years at this Pontiac townhouse
said
on
we all
Lydia
knew.
Lane. Charlene has not been in contact in years and has loads of questions now.
I just don't know how the
Let's hear that again. You know the sister-in-law can't wait to talk shit.
Oh no, you know
we
that.
all knew she was a bad parent, but I don't think nobody really realized this was going on.
Charlene Bryant is the former sister-in-law to 34-year-old Kelly Bryant, now facing child abuse charges after investigators say they found 3 of her kids living alone in squalor for several years at this Pontiac townhouse on Lydia Lane. Charlene has not been in contact in years and has loads of questions now.
I just don't know how the family don't know when they were so close.
Oakland County Prosecutor Karen McDonald charged Kelly Bryant with 3 counts of child abuse in the first degree, which could mean life in prison if convicted. All of this after police say they found 3 of Bryant's 4 kids, a 15-year-old boy and his 2 sisters, ages 12 and 13, living in horrific conditions.
Her daughters were hiding in a bathroom that was filled with feces, piles of trash, and completely non-functional, while her son was hiding in another room. Police were astonished to find anyone in the location because it appeared to be uninhabitable, with piles of garbage and refuse several feet high, including large amounts of human excrement.
The prosecutor says Bryant lived at the home with all 4 kids back in 2019, but later moved out, leaving 3 of her children abandoned while one of the kids went to live with their dad.
Yo, what's up? What's up? Shout out to Robert Mustafa Muhammad. Apologies if I said the name wrong in the middle. He said, I hate this story. Me too. It's almost as if she did it on purpose. Like, I don't know how you perfectly get feces, trash bags. It's like you did it on purpose. It don't just happen that way. Like,
No.
even if you wasn't in the house, like seriously, if you wasn't in the house for 4 years and didn't take care of it, it wouldn't look like that. It's like she did it on purpose. Like she purposely took trash bags and just threw them in piles and took feces and smeared them on the wall. How does that happen?
It doesn't. That's why so many of the photos that the news keeps showing is blurred out. It's poop all over the damn floors, all over the walls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how you get that nasty. It's like you have to be trying to do it. Shout out to Mr. Robert Muhammad. He says this happens way more than Black people want to talk about. Agreed. And a lot of these
definitely.
Yep. What you gonna say, Prince?
Well, no, I was agreeing as well. Yeah, definitely. This a lot of these cases like this get swept under the rug. A few weeks ago when I sent you that that screenshot from Statistas. Women, mothers mainly, are the leading perpetrators in the nation. Child neglect and child abuse, child murder. It's usually all the moms.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that story. Yeah. Yeah. It's just sad.
What kills me is
Detectives say
that the kids is with the parent is with the rest of the family. That's what kills me. How can you go
Oh,
with whether it's your aunt, your the grandparent, the uncle, the cousins? How can you go close to 5 years without seeing your people? And and you swear to God that you believe this chick saying that that she got a babysitter or something for 5 years.
cause them people
How,
don't care, man. They you know how often, man, people, man, they have cousins and stuff. They won't even go check on them. They too lazy, just for anything. Um, that's just how people are. I don't just 'cause they family don't mean that they are like caring about you necessarily enough to take a break from their day. You know what I
no,
mean?
I
Like
agree.
that's just how people are and stuff. It don't surprise me. I think that's what makes it so scary is because when you are a parent, not even just a mom and dad, that's what's so scary that your children have to have that much trust in you because they literally could do whatever they want to you. Look how
Right.
long she got away with this. That's what's so scary about it. Nobody's coming over here. You're all they got. And so they literally can get away with it. Mm.
Well, her behind
Well,
deserves
police said the
every
phone.
year of that life sentence.
Oh yeah, yeah. My bad, man. Sometimes you be going in and out, but I heard you then. Prince.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah, you ain't heard me school, but I mean, I was just saying, like she
No, no,
deserves
no, no.
every
I
year of
heard.
that.
Yeah, I heard that part, but sometimes I be playing. I'll start playing the video because it'll be a delay. But yeah, I
Oh,
got
okay,
you.
my bad, my bad.
Okay, yeah. I was laughing about that because I started playing the video and it was a little slight delay.
Home worried for Bryant's welfare after not getting a rent payment since last October. That's when the kids were found, shaken, scared, and covered in feces, according to the prosecutor.
Honestly, I thought the grandmother was taking care of the children.
That's the last you heard.
Yeah, that's the last. You went 4 or 5 years without seeing your grandchildren. There was no questions.
We stopped by the Pontiac home of Bryant's extended family, where the police eventually took the kids. We wanted to talk to the adults. Hi, how are you? No, sir, no comment. Is there anything you'd like to say, sir? No comment given there. We also searched Bryant's Facebook page, which was easy to find and not set to private. Her content shows her modeling various outfits for the camera.
She's going to claim she couldn't afford to take care of her kids, but you got your hair done, you got your nails done, you got new clothes on all your pictures. Come on now.
What do you think should happen at this point?
She needs to go to prison and never see her kids again. Them kids need to go to someone that's going to take care of them.
She caught red-handed, but she living her
Red-handed,
best life.
red-handed. You can't explain that away. Like I was saying earlier, her Facebook explains it all. You're not getting off on this. You're not. You're done.
Who don't put their page to private? I'm telling you how bold. Uh, these cases get swept under the rug. There's no need for her to fear, and so therefore she doesn't even put her page on private. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep.
I was trying to find some more news stories for the other one you sent me for the mom out of Shreveport.
Mm.
And I couldn't even find no video on that one. I had typed her name in and everything. And that's what be crazy to me. Some of these crazy stories, they don't even pop up.
What I said in that chat bubble before. When it comes to these children, it gets talked about in passing.
It does, because I would think that would I would think it would pop up or something. I would think that'd be a very big I would think it'd be a very big deal. Let's see. Share this one instead. Here we go. Hopefully it. Okay, it's showing up clear. Here we go. Shreveport woman. This is totally different from the Michigan. This is another story shared to me by the Prince of Petty himself. So don't be confused. This ain't the same people. These are actually different people doing the same things.
The exact same thing.
I'm telling you. Shreveport woman arrested for allegedly leaving her 5 kids at home alone for days. Okay. They posted a picture of her right here, and they reminded us that all persons are presumed innocent until proven guilty. Her name is Leanisha Broom. Okay. Is facing multiple counts of child desertion after reportedly leaving her 5 children, all of whom are under the age of 7, at home alone for days at a time. Wow, that's busy. 5 children under the age of 7.
Look at that face, and you tell me what dude woke up and said, "Dang, she just had a kid. I'll smash though. Let's have another one. Dang, she just had another kid. I'll smash. Let's have another one."
Unless it's the
Well,
same guy.
yeah,
Probably
no.
No.
I wish it could have been the same guy, but no.
Oh man, that is crazy. And this is published February 18th, 2025 at 8:10 a.m. by Rachel Thomas. Out of Shreveport, Louisiana. A woman in Shreveport is facing multiple counts of child desertion after reportedly leaving her 5 children alone for days at a time. The Shreveport Police Department says an investigation was launched after officers were called about 5 young children being left at home by themselves. On February the 15th at 11 a.m., officers were sent out to the house in the 5500 block of Virginia Avenue after a concerned family member called them worried about Leanisha Broom and her kids. The family member said Broom was not answering her phone and couldn't be found. During the investigation, detectives learned Broom hadn't been at work for 2 days and had not been at the home with her children since February 13th. The oldest child, a 6-year-old, told officers their mom had stopped by briefly that morning to drop off a breakfast biscuit from McDonald's before leaving again to go to work. Okay. I don't know. Was she really at work?
Of course not. Man, she ain't been home since February 13th. Of course not. She was getting her back beat out.
Okay. Here it says police discovered Broom had an active bench warrant out for her on 3 counts of child desertion from back in 2023 and another count from back in 2021. The U.S. Marshal Office tried to arrest her on February 13th, but Broom couldn't be found at the home. Child Protective Services were notified of the situation and determined the kids will be put into the custody of a family member pending further investigation. On February 17th, Broom was found and arrested. She now faces 5 new counts of child desertion for leaving her 5 children, ages 6, 4. Hold on. 6, 4, 3, 1, and 5 months.
6, 4, 3, 1, and 5. God, dog.
But you know what? Shout out to Rachel Thomas. Rachel Thomas I be catching what they be doing. She knows she wanted to put 6, 5, 4, 3,
3, 2, and 1.
because it's almost like a countdown. And that's why I paused. I was like, Yeah, she left the 5 months old.
But not only that, you're leaving a 5-month-old child with literal children, not prepubescent children, other toddlers, just about kids, and she does it habitually. She's a habitual child deserter.
But you know what though? That 6-year-old smart as hell. That 6-year-old ahead of
What?
their time.
Clearly.
That 6-year-old ahead of their time. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Oh man. You know what though? Honestly, too. I think she kind of had the first 2 kids. Then you end up getting in trouble. Now you got a warrant. Now you can't be there for your other kids, and you just keep on digging yourself a hole, is what it seems
Yep,
like.
keep on digging a hole.
Yeah, you put yourself in a situation and you're on the run, you just digging yourself a hole and stuff like that. It seemed like she can get. I had a cousin that was like that, and honestly, she's gotten life together. It was drugs, so she had to go through rehab, therapy. And she slowly just started getting her kids back. She's got a life together now. She's with a guy that loves her. But she had all her kids with one guy, her husband. She got married very young to this guy. And he was abusive.
Yeah, and I see a story like that could be explained. A story like that could be understandable, But just looking at something like this, we have no reason to believe that all these kids is about one dude. And for example, this one dude was just beating her. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to unsubscribe her from life or something like that. Like you just wanted to go out on Valentine's Day and have a good time and just not be there with your kids. That's what this story here has to boil down to. That's what I see.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know about the you would hope that it wouldn't be that many guys, but I've been proven wrong before, so
Yeah, I've been proven wrong too. That's kind of why I say the things I say. Like I've stopped giving the benefit of doubt. You got multiple kids, I'm automatically assuming you have multiple children's fathers. it's just automatic. Now, if you can respectfully prove me wrong, but I'm going to go out on a limb and just automatically assume that they're from multiple different men. I'm sorry.
yeah, I think it just shocked me because I don't be thinking that you can just meet somebody that fast, and stuff. But that's just
I really hope
me. I be thinking.
the 1-year-old and the 5-month-old is for the same dude because, personally speaking, not only would I not want to sleep with a chick with a kid that young, I wouldn't even want to. The moment you say your kid's age and you say 1, I'm good. As far as I know, you probably you ain't got the taste of your baby daddy out your mouth yet. You talking to me like no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm like, but it is some guys that just probably want to use her for sex, and so they'll do something with her. They ain't wearing no condom, and let's say she's pregnant all over again. Or
And again, go ahead.
I say, or she got one of them. How some people have women have an addiction. I don't know what they call it, like where they like the attention they get from getting pregnant. Sometimes be cases like that. That's what I be thinking it really is because they say the labor is so painful. The only reason a person would want to have kids back to back like that, knowing they can't take care of them. It must be the attention they get from the actual pregnancy.
Or it could be a mental disorder.
I'm trying to find these other videos, man, because there's more. There's more.
Oh, of course, there's more. Why would there not be more?
You know,
Unfortunately, we're talking about mothers.
I've saved some of the other one that you have sent. So,
oh Lord, those heinous things! Oh Jesus Christ!
yeah, I done saved some of these other ones, man. Don't you worry. All right.
We off to a bad start already with news. It's about to get worse.
Here we go. Now, I do want to shout out this one mother that is doing a great job. I want to shout her out and shout out the people for getting.
Mother reached out to us after her young son was left alone inside a dark classroom at his school. And KSLA's Miracle Garrett spoke with the mother of the child for more insight on the situation. So, Miracle, what can you tell us?
Bisky, today I sat down with the family to get more information, and Takaya Evans was very emotional. She was the mother of the son who was found in the classroom, and when I sat with her, she told me that her son has autism and is nonverbal, and he did not get off the school bus yesterday, and she obviously got very concerned. Takaya went to the 81st Street Early Childhood Education Center to look for her son. She arrived to find only one person there, and that was the janitor. Together, they went to her son's classroom. The janitor unlocked the door, and Takaya was reunited
They look
with
just
her
like
son.
twins, too.
Takaya told us about her conversation with Superintendent Keith Burton,
They do
who
look
met
just
with her
alike.
earlier today, and how she feels about the statement the school board sent out.
I love the part when he said, "Let me be clear, we will not tolerate these actions." And basically, he about the student safety and just holding everybody fully accountable, taking accountability. They're working real fast. I'm thankful for that, because this day and time, people drag their feet. Like I said, sweep things on the rug, act like nothing ever happened, give people a slap on the wrist, but it's not the case.
Caddo School Superintendent Keith Burton sent us this statement regarding what happened. He said, quote, "We are conducting a full review of this incident and have already begun to take action. As a result, one staff member associated with this matter is no longer employed with the district, while another has been placed on administrative leave pending further investigation.
Got him
Let
up
me be
out of there.
clear, we will not tolerate actions that compromise student safety, and we are holding those responsible fully accountable." Tonight at 10, we'll have the full story and if criminal charges will be pursued. At the First Alert Center at Miracle Garrett, KSLA News 12.
Yeah, see that?
The Montgomery County mother.
I just wanted to use that one as an example. That if your kids listen, you damn well know it. If you're
Yes, that was a hell of an example right there. What state was that?
That was another Shreveport.
That was another one in Shreveport where they actually done something for the kid. Oh my God, that's quite surprising.
Yeah, that was Shreveport. That was KSLA News and stuff.
Truth be told, that's what's supposed to happen when your child come up missing up, something's wrong with your child. You act, at the snap of a finger, at a drop of a dime, you act.
I'm trying to figure out. This ain't funny, but who in the hell left the autistic kid locked in the classroom at an early learning academy? That's your whole damn job. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Well, I have reason to believe it could have been the one that they fired, which is probably the teacher's assistant, because in those young classes like that, there's always more than one teacher. So the one that got fired was probably the assistant, and the one that's on administrative leave is the one who's actually legitimately employed by them being the actual teacher.
Did you see that mama's nails? She better be glad she
Well,
didn't get her hands on her first. She better be
about
glad
to
she
say,
got fired. She better be glad she just got fired.
she better be being fired, dealing with the mom. Being fired might have been a blessing. Mom got some girth on her.
All right. Okay. Now, similar to the other stories, now this one is an old story. It is from 2 years ago, but 2 years ain't that long ago. But it is one of those crazy stories that I wanted to play because we're covering moms abandoning kids today. So, knowing Prince crazy self, he probably done heard this one already. He be up to date. He the one be keeping me up to date. So,
I'm about to tell you, I
Wanted by police
remember
in
her
two
face.
different states.
you remember her face?
Yeah, I remember that that picture in the background. I remember that face. I've heard this.
Oh, okay. I knew it.
Tonight, after investigators say her two young children were found in deplorable living conditions.
The 12 and 3-year-old were left alone to fend for themselves for nearly 2 months. ABC 13's Brooke Taylor is live outside the home where all of this happened. Brooke?
Yeah, all of this really hard to believe. Now, the mom left about a few months ago, but they moved into this home a year ago, and the children were never enrolled in school in Texas. So officials tell me it was really easy for all of this to just go unnoticed. Inside this home, a nightmare for two young children, 12 and 3 years old. Roman Forest Police Chief Stephen Carlisle says they were abandoned for nearly 2 months.
There was no food in the house. Everything was empty. There was some dry beans and some spices is about it.
Their mother, Raven Yates, left them in late September, he says. There's been a warrant out for her arrest since December. Investigators say the 12-year-old never told anyone because she was threatened by what might happen to her little brother. They have different fathers.
And she was afraid that her father was going to take her and leaving the 3-year-old by himself.
Fearful, she obeyed. She'd call her father, saying mom was working and he would send food. According to police, he's a music producer in California. He called police once family members spotted Yates in Mobile, Alabama, where she's from, without her kids.
When he got a call from his ex-mother-in-law and they put 2 and 2 together, he caught the first plane over here.
Investigators shocked to see how they were living.
The officers checked the bedroom of the children and discovered heavy urine odor coming from the 3-year-old's bed.
Yates continues to be active on social media, posting to her thousands of followers as investigators work with Mobile police to arrest the 31-year-old's mom. She's wanted on 2 counts of abandoning or endangering a child without intent to return. She hasn't responded to our messages.
A 12-year-old cannot take care of a 3-year-old for a long period of time. It's dangerous, especially over a month and a half. It's dangerous, it's irresponsible of a parent.
Now, Yates also has a 14-year-old girl. She was reported as a runaway around the same time when police say she left the younger children. Tonight, though, police tell me all 3 children have been reunited. They are safe and they are with a family member in Alabama. We're live in New Caney. I'm Brooke Taylor, ABC 13.
I know this ain't the same neighborhood because that's a beautiful neighborhood, beautiful home.
That is a pretty house.
She posting nice, beautiful pictures, and this is what's going on.
That's what's going on.
My God, you really don't know people.
You don't. But I want to say this. Anybody who went across that particular story right there, if anybody want to debate how a lot of women say, how a lot of baby mamas say men don't want to be fathers and men ain't crap and this, that, and the other. This story here, Pop showed up. He wasted no time.
Yeah, the father got there right away. That is shocking to me. Like, that's a beautiful home. She just, and this like, so you got the kids, you're in this nice home. You just throw it all away to post on Instagram?
DNA.
Like, to To go right? Why? For what?
It was so bad in that house to the point the oldest girl. She said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." She left.
Yes, you did. I'm like, and then the thing is, would you on the internet flexing before you actually stay in a nice home?
Right.
Yeah. What's the reasoning?
I mean, just looking at that house from the outside, bro, they got people that killed for that house.
That's insane to me. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And
Well,
if memory serves me right, they had they put an APB out on her at the time of that news reporting. I want to say they caught up with her and arrested her. I want to say a week, maybe 2 weeks later. So just so we have a happy ending, she is caught.
oh yeah. Well, she had to. People like that always going to slip up. Check this one out.
We're starting with a troubling story out of Antioch. A mother is under arrest tonight, accused of leaving 4 children home alone in poor conditions.
Yeah, the house is on Spruce Way, and police made the discovery after someone reported seeing a 2-year-old running around unattended. ABC 7 News reporter Lauren Martinez is following this developing story. She spoke to neighbors who say they were shocked to learn what happened.
This is the first time ever happened. So far, there's so many police officers.
Antioch police found 4 young children living in poor conditions. This cell phone video was taken by David Sarkar, who lives across the street.
The kids were taken by the ambulance. One this way and one the other.
It was on Thursday evening when officers responded to the home after someone reported finding a 2-year-old child outside. When officers arrived, they found 3 additional children inside with no adults around. Police said when their 36-year-old mother arrived back home, she was placed under arrest for child abuse-related charges.
Oh, I feel bad. Did you hear that? The
what part?
The news reporter got a lisp. Listen for it.
Related charges.
I was really surprised.
You ain't hear that?
I was really surprised.
Yeah, I caught it at
Never
time.
happened before. And as I said, I haven't seen that many officers around here, given the ambulances and the other cars.
On Friday, investigators went back to the home. The Contra Costa Fire Department's hazmat team said the home was uninhabitable. Officials boarded up the front door, and the city code enforcement tagged the home. We knocked on neighbors' doors to ask if they knew the family or knew what happened.
You guys are the ones that told me. Yeah, I'm surprised about it.
Richard Arnold said it's usually a quiet area and neighbors stay to themselves. He was sad to learn children were involved.
I don't know. I just really hope that everybody gets better.
The children's ages, 2, 5, and 8, were taken to nearby hospitals for evaluation before being placed into the custody of Child and Family Services.
I'm so sorry about that, especially for the young kids.
The tags on the garage and the door say there's no power and the home is unsafe to enter. The mother is being held on over $400,000 bail. In Antioch, Lauren Martinez, ABC 7 News.
So while she locked up, CPS has the kids. She doesn't have a mama. She don't have a aunt. I mean, man, I hate to have a set of twins and 2 other siblings just separated like that.
I know. I'm trying to when the computer start doing what it want to do.
No, it'd be like that. We live. Technical difficulties happen.
But I think they're just going to show and prove. People have to remember, man, always be thankful when you got family and support. A lot of people do not have it. It's not to give them an excuse, but a lot of people just don't. They're just out here doing stuff.
Right.
And I would think they don't have much of a family, man, because, man, my mom, oh my God, such an involved grandma. I could never get away with nothing like that. Like she would, you know what I mean? Like she would know.
Man, my grandfather would have killed my mama. Something like that happened.
Yeah, that was it's like certain stuff like that. But some people they just do not have the family. Um, they don't have that family to support them, and that's how things happen. I
Right.
got this one. This one's crazy, dog.
I try to hold on to that faith as much as I can, but sometimes life throws curveballs, as you would like to say. I try to hold on to that faith as much as I can, but sometimes life throws curveballs, as you would like to say, at you, and you don't know really how to accept it.
This one of those curveballs?
Very much so.
Anthony Johnson trusting the cross around his neck, the one in his yard.
Can't give up on this child.
Faith, what he's holding on to after police in Balch Springs made a chilling discovery in the house next door.
Just to know that happened next door to you, it makes me very uneasy.
This press release tells the tale. It says Crystal Canales called 911 on Valentine's Day last week when her 19-year-old nonverbal and autistic daughter was having trouble breathing. But when officers got there, they detected a strong foul odor when directed to Delilah Villegas's bedroom.
All right. So on this media release, okay, they went to Delilah's bedroom where they detected a strong foul odor. The room contained a single mattress on the floor and two pallets made of comforters, sheets, and pillows. Delilah was found deceased, lying on her right side in a near fetal position. Medical personnel confirmed the absence of vital signs and noted the rigor mortis and liver mortis had already set in, estimating she had been deceased for at least 6 and possibly up to 24 hours. Delilah appeared severely malnourished and had multiple bruises and contusions on her body. The Criminal Investigation Division was called to the scene. Crystal insisted that Delilah had been breathing before first responders arrived and claimed she had eaten a handful of goldfish crackers earlier that day. Okay. I don't know why she's like, she really thinks somebody gonna believe her.
She must have thought somebody was going to believe it. That was the best she could come up with. She thought something.
Because listen, the family member stated that Delilah has severe autism. She was nonverbal and wore a diaper, but had no major health conditions. So I know damn well that girl should be eating more than goldfish crackers, and she would eat more than goldfish crackers. She done survived all this time. You know what I mean? Living.
One would think.
Yeah. A closer examination of Delilah's body revealed severe malnutrition, multiple wounds, and exposed bones on her right thigh, shoulder, hip, buttocks, hand, and ankle. Bed sores were also present. A body outline on the concrete floor indicated she had been in the same position for a prolonged period.
When they say exposed bones, is that from the child being starved, or was she beaten and just had bones protruding from her body?
It's gonna be from the malnutrition.
Malnutrition, okay.
And it's going to be from her laying on her side, not being turned over properly.
Man, that's sad.
Yeah. To the point where the bones would come through the skin.
Oh my God.
From just laying, and then on top of that, she's got her on a concrete floor, just a single mattress. She doesn't even have her in a proper bed.
Right.
She's on the floor. And on the floor so long, her body is outlined on the floor. Like they didn't draw it. Her body.
It was already there. That's crazy.
You know. When questioned about Delilah's injuries, Crystal acknowledged what she referred to as bed sores and claimed she was treating them with Neosporin. Okay. Bones coming out the body, neosporin. Gotcha. She admitted she did not seek medical care because Delilah would become violent. The last known hospital visit for Delilah was in 2021. Records show the last call for service at Crystal's address was in May 2021. Detectives concluded that a reasonable person would have sought medical treatment for Delilah's severe wounds. He further determined Crystal's failure to obtain medical care likely constituted reckless conduct leading to serious bodily injury to a disabled person under her care. Crystal Cakes was arrested by the Balch Springs Police Department without incident and transported to Balch Springs Jail, where she is awaiting transfer to Dallas County Jail. Yeah. And this story was uploaded 15 hours ago.
Inside,
Man.
she was dead for at least 6 and possibly 24 hours. Investigators say she was malnourished, had multiple bruises, bed sores, and exposed bones on the right side of her body.
That's horrible. I had no clue about any of that.
Johnson.
You see why I read it. I knew they was going to kind of speed through that part because of the news, but I said, oh man, let me pause it since they put it up on the screen.
Knew Delilah, his brother, sharing classes with her in high school.
It's really sad.
Denise Gomez's sister knew the family and will never look at this house the same way.
To think that something like that would happen here is insane.
Canales arrested Friday and facing a second-degree felony, reckless conduct leading to serious bodily injury of a disabled person. She admitted to not seeking medical care sooner because Delilah would always get violent, per the release. Johnson just became a dad and says that's not an excuse.
You have to live and you have to be there for that child no matter what they're going through.
In Balch Springs, I'm Matt Howerton.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't usually judge people. Looked like she did it to me.
Yeah, she did it. Absolutely, she did.
Just gonna go by her face, and I'm gonna say that she did it.
Yeah, her mugshot just screams guilty.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, there's a special place in hell for these women.
It is. I'm telling you, how can you just sit there and leave somebody like that? It's horrible. It's like you have no heart at all. Like you're just pure evil at that point. And it's your own baby, and I get it. You're probably frustrated, having to take care of the child. You're probably having a terrible go at life, but still you can't do that. And she could have easily handed her over or something to like a hospital or something like that. But I don't know where they live. Maybe it's not. I don't know what's the opportunities or the rules where she is, but making up some excuse saying that you couldn't take her to the hospital, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's retarded. Yeah, nobody ought to believe that. Absolutely not. But even if you do feel like you're having a bad go at life and you're frustrated that your child needs 24-hour care and all that, that's still no reason to treat said child like that. None. There's no reason for that.
Oh, I found one of yours.
Oh Lord.
I found one of yours. I need to make me a bacon.
Filthy.
So I'm gonna get up.
It's being called a biohazard. Let's jump right in. For Law and Crime, I'm Kennedy Walker. This photo from the Marion County Sheriff's Office, obtained by Fox 59, reveals the horrifying conditions an Indianapolis woman allegedly subjected her children to, leaving them alone for days on end. The bedroom was nothing short of a nightmare. The mattress and crib were covered in feces, and police say that trash, urine, garbage, and rotten food were scattered across every surface in the apartment. Meet 33-year-old Chantel Garner. The mother, police say, is behind the horror. She's been arrested and charged with murder and child neglect. According to authorities, Garner called 911 after finding her daughter, 2-year-old Skylar, unresponsive under a dresser. But the details of what happened before that moment are chilling. Documents obtained by Fox 59 indicate preliminary findings suggest Skylar died from hypothermia, with frostbite clearly visible on her feet and hands. During the investigation, authorities found the apartment's rooms were shockingly cold, with temperatures ranging from just 46 to 51 degrees. The apartment's furnace wasn't working properly, yet
Look at that picture. This is why you can't trust nothing. The same person took all that time with the filter, with the hair, try to do the seductive eyes, would do that to a baby girl.
It be them, bro. They be the ones. They feel like they feel like they're deserving of all that attention. All eyes should be on them. They're more worried about likes and clicks than actually being a parent.
It's crazy. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Garner allegedly never reported it to maintenance. Instead, she left her children to endure the frigid temperatures. According to court records, Skylar's body was covered in bruises on her arms, legs, face, back, and groin. A large puncture wound on her neck was also discovered, possibly caused by a rodent after her death. As for the mother's explanation, documents state the 33-year-old said her daughter's vaginal bruising was a result of her diapers not being changed enough. She denied ever sexually assaulting her, but allegedly admitted she knew she was neglecting both of her children by leaving them home alone. In documents, she allegedly told police the children didn't always behave, so leaving them home was easier. It went on to say eventually Garner stayed away from the apartment altogether due to the foul odor and instead stayed at her boyfriend's home, allegedly bringing her children food only once a day. Her boyfriend, Brian Thomas, is also facing charges, including 2 counts of assisting a criminal. Here to break down this case with me is trial attorney Krista Ramey. Krista, in addition to being an attorney, you also specialize and represent children of abuse.
I do. Thank you for having me today, by the way.
Of course. Now, let's just dive straight in. Based on your experience, how does the legal system typically handle cases involving child neglect and abuse like the one we're discussing today?
This is going to touch about every area of the court system, this case, because you have now issues of potentially murder charges that will be brought with the mother. We've got a surviving son that will need to be placed. So they'll go through the dependency courts and, you know, hopefully there's a family member that can take this little boy. But there's going to be that aspect as well in terms of dependency, adoption, foster, all of that. There is no way with the facts that are alleged here that this little boy will ever be placed with his mother again, regardless of what happens in a criminal trial.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a sad case from all angles. As a lawyer who advocates for children, though, what are the most common red flags that people should watch for when it comes to child abuse or neglect?
So when comparing to this case and when reading what was happening here, there were red flags that should have been seen by a number of people. This woman lived in an apartment building. So, you know, in apartments, we're in close quarters. There should have been smells coming from that apartment based upon the descriptions in the news articles, that feces was covered all over the walls and furniture, that there was rotten food in the house, that there was children that were probably at such a young age crying an awful lot because they're alone and very frightened. Skylar, the little girl, was found under a dresser. So the level of fear and anxiety that child must have had in the last moments of her life are unimaginable. There are a number of other people, including her boyfriend, that should have seen these red flags. Where are these children going? Is there a babysitter that is taking care of them every single night? Why aren't these children in daycare? Who are the other caregivers and people that love these children in their lives? They should have seen physical signs of abuse on their arms. It looks like that there was bruising on the children's arms, cuts, abrasions, whatnot. When you don't see a child or hear from a child for days, you know, this is another big red flag. What is going on in this house that they're never leaving the home? So there were a lot of missed opportunities for these children to be saved, quite honestly.
Yeah. And the suspect, like how we just mentioned, does have another child who police say was also subjected to this abuse. What is the emotional and psychological toll on children who are subjected to prolonged neglect?
When you think about it, children in their early stages of development, particularly from birth to 4 or 5 years old. They need frequent interaction. You need to be talking to children and, playing imitation games and, helping them develop these language skills. You're teaching them, about how to interact with other people. You should be taking them out in the world to see other people. He missed all of these opportunities likely for many years of his life. I don't know how long this abuse was going on, and that was unclear from the story, but there's going to be long-term effects on the development of his brain, with the development of his physical development. He may suffer from obesity, anxiety, drug addiction. There are sexual deviance issues that could develop because of this. This child needs to be in therapy immediately and needs to be in a loving home that can help to start giving him all of these things. I would bet his language is severely behind where other kids at 4 years old are. He's probably not even ready to enter into kindergarten and interact with other children, having gone through this level of neglect. So there's going to be some serious hurdles for him to overcome in his young life, but they could be lasting throughout his life. I would imagine anxiety, depression, PTSD are going to be also DSM-5 diagnosis that this little boy has.
So what do you think can be done, though? Do you think just like instant therapy could potentially save him? I mean, clearly, Skylar couldn't be saved, but is there anything that can be done to help him?
Yes, all of those things that we just talked about. So getting him into that loving environment. Hopefully there's someone that's familial, because that's always better to take care of him. But if not, he's young enough that he could potentially be adopted into a good home at 4 years old. And so having that opportunity to be at that loving home where he is learning how to eat, how to interact, how to talk and communicate, having that like healthy developmental interactions with other people in your life are also going to help him considerably long-term, in addition to obvious needs for therapy and monitoring throughout periods of time in his life.
And what would you recommend to parents or caregivers who may suspect a child is being neglected or abused, but they aren't sure how to take action?
It's always better to be wrong about it and report it than it is to be right and not report it. As certain types of caregivers, healthcare providers, teachers, any kind of licensed therapist or doctor, they're all required as, here in California and across every state as mandated reporters under the penal code, meaning that if they suspect abuse at all, they're required to report it either to the police or to the Department of, Children's Services or some other state agencies which have been designated in their state as the reporting agency. And if they don't, they're in jeopardy of losing their license to do what they do for a living. But beyond that, just as an ordinary person, as a mother that is watching another child be dropped off at daycare and noticing things, it is better than to bring that to the attention of maybe that mandated reporter or maybe your self-report. Even if you're wrong and there's an investigation into abuse to a household and there is no abuse there, that really is not going to have any negative impact on the child. But if you don't report it, obviously something can go seriously wrong.
Yeah, it's true what they say. If you see something, say something. Lastly, what resources can you provide? What resources are available to help prevent child abuse before it happens?
There's a lot of resources available online. There's, I would, urge people just to go to, any of those that are available online. There's really no one resource. If you think that there is abuse, the number one place you should go is the police. It is always good to talk to doctors and therapists as well in your own circle. They might be able to provide you with other avenues to, of where to go. But in terms of one resource, there's not one universal resource to go to. There is a number of agencies and nonprofits that provide services for children and for families in need.
That is crazy. Let me see. Well, I got one more story, and then I think that'll probably about wrap it up. I think Prince fell off. He might come back on. I got one more story, then I'm gonna end it because I can't watch too many of these sad stories anyway. Where are we at? There we go. This next one is from the Law and Crime Network. It says you have two parents that left their daughter to die in a closet with the space heater. So
and the deplorable conditions. The prosecutor says she and her siblings were a mother and father accused of causing their toddler daughter's death in a horrific way. I have the allegations in the death of little Zaylin Hershey and the deplorable conditions the prosecutor says she and her siblings were enduring. Welcome to Crime.
oh my gosh, it was freezing up. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I had seen. I was like, I knew you'd probably pop up. I was going on to this next one you sent me with the parents and the space heater. The one with the daughter and the lady was sad. I noticed it said she had injuries even to the groin from where I guess she was hitting her and stuff.
But did they explain how she ended up under a dresser though? Man, that's wild.
I can't even remember. I kind of wiped that one from my head. It was too much.
Yeah.
I was like, I probably have to come back and revisit that one.
Some of these need updates, but like I said, the children get talked about in passing. Talk about it at one time, or the children end up being the flavor of the week or something, and never touched on again.
Yeah, I can't remember all the details of it. I went and got me something to eat, so I can't remember all the details of it. I was listening to it in my ear, but I can't remember that part you asked. I can't remember what happened with that one. This is the other one you sent me with the parents who left the daughter in the closet with the space heater.
Yeah. Oh Lord, these two cocksuckers.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm Anjanette Levy. This case is so upsetting because it was so easily preventable. Police and prosecutors in Indiana say 2-year-old Zaylin Hershey died after her parents left her in a room where the temperature reached 109 degrees. The couple, 21-year-old Cynthia Perez and 23-year-old Jace Hershey, faced 3 felony counts of neglect, including neglect of a dependent resulting in death and neglect of a dependent. The day before Thanksgiving, the Byrne Police Department in Indiana received a 911 call from Jace Hershey requesting help. Medics went to the Swiss Meadows apartment complex and found an awful scene. Police say once they walked inside the main bedroom, they felt an immediate heat difference. According to court documents, what officers found was shocking. The document reads, in the main bedroom, trash was noted on the floor in plain view, and the room was disarrayed. A trash bag on the east wall with trash in it, a soiled diaper on the floor, an empty pizza box, and another trash bag on the west side of the wall filled with trash. I observed the decedent in the crib lying on a very soiled mattress. Trash was scattered on the floor, empty half-gallon cartons of almond breeze, and what appeared to be torn up white paper plates on the floor and underneath the crib. Inside the crib was a blanket and a towel. On the closet's west wall was a blanket stacked up against the wall. Near the east wall on the crib's south side, what appeared to be feces was observed on the floor. There was also trash in the closet near the space heater. Police also observed the 2-year-old in a soiled diaper with a red-colored stain underneath the left upper head to the left side of her lower abdomen. Zaylin's head was darkly discolored. Investigators on the scene grew concerned about the safety for the other tenants in the apartment complex. The Byrne Fire Department took temperature readings with an infrared thermal device. The temperatures were documented as evidence. This is one of those cases that makes me realize how important it is to know who's living right next door to you. That's what's great about truthfinder.com. You can log on and search people. Truthfinder is one of the world's largest public records search services. Just put in a person's name and you'll get a lot of information like current and past addresses, possible relatives, social media accounts, phone numbers, and addresses. It will even show you the sex of LC crime infrared thermometer from the about almost anyone. The
She plugged that ad in perfectly. This is crazy. So it says after about 3:57 p.m., an infrared thermometer from the EMS personnel was used to measure the temperature in the room where the decedent was found in the crib. The first temperature obtained was the heat of the ceiling, which was read at 108.3 degrees. The second reading was taken of the decedent, which was 108.8 degrees. The third temperature was taken of the crib railing, which was 101.8 degrees. The fourth reading was taken of the decedent chest, which was 109.4 degrees. The fifth temperature was taken of the decedent forehead, which was 108.8 degrees. A floor heat next to the crib was 96.8. So basically cooked them.
That's wild. So the child was.
What'd you say? Prince, you say something? Maybe he in a bad area. I can't hear him.
document says at about 3:57 p.m., an infrared thermometer from the EMS personnel was used to measure the temperature in the room where the decedent was found in the crib. The first temperature obtained was the heat of the ceiling, which was read at 108.3 degrees. The second reading taken of the decedent was read at 108.8 degrees. The third temperature was taken of the crib railing, 101.8 degrees. The fourth reading was taken of the decedent's chest, 109.4 degrees. The fifth temperature was taken of the decedent's forehead, 108.8 degrees. On the floor next to the crib was 96.8 degrees. While at the scene, Cynthia requested to go to the hospital. Before she could leave, police spoke to her. She stated the decedent was placed in the crib in the closet at approximately 7 p.m. on Tuesday, November 26, 2024. A space heater in the closet was turned on. The closet door was closed nearly all the way. The closet is approximately 6 feet by 8 feet. Perez stated she awoke the following day, Wednesday, November 27th, 2024, at approximately 12:30 p.m. Both Perez and Hershey were home on November 27th, 2024. Neither parent checked on the well-being of the decedent until after 3 p.m. The autopsy revealed the cause of death as hyperthermia, with little Zaylene's body temperature measuring 109.4 degrees. Also in the apartment, which was filthy, the couple's 2 remaining children, both were found with lice. The conditions in the apartment were so bad, and with little Zaylene dying, the children were placed in the custody of the Department of Child Services. The parents are being held at the Adams County Jail awaiting trial. Serena Townsend is a former prosecutor. She's currently a defense attorney. So Serena, tell me if you would, just your first thoughts on this case. I just can't even imagine a 2-year-old dying like this with a space heater in a closet.
It's honestly one of the most horrific stories that I have heard. We hear about parents doing things, accidentally, intentionally to their children. You would think, I understand the charge has to do with neglect, but this is the most extreme type of neglect. Everybody knows how dangerous those space heaters are. And that space was so small. Anybody who was thinking about the well-being of their child should have known that this was an extremely dangerous situation.
The charge that these parents are facing, it's neglecting a dependent resulting in death, or neglect of a dependent resulting in death. It carries I think a prison term of 40 years if convicted. What I don't understand is why you've got the one child, who I believe is the middle child of the three, locked in this closet, or, closed in the closet space with the space heater in the crib. The other children are not, but they go in there and the place is just a disaster. It's filthy. I mean, the other kids, according to police, had lice. There are, pizza boxes all over the place. It's just, the place is trashed. And the parents are sleeping till all hours of the day without checking on the child. It's so horrific to me how this child may have died. They don't have an official, they said, no, she died of hyperthermia. So she died of being overheated. I just can't even imagine how that little girl, what she went through in passing away. And she's 2 years old and she can't do anything to help herself.
Yes, it's really awful because you don't know, and we don't know just how terrible those 2 years were for her and how terrible the years have been for her siblings. Obviously, this is not a one and done thing. The crime scene, if you will, which is the home itself, obviously had accumulated terrible neglect throughout the years. I mean, you don't just end up with feces all over the apartment, dirty diapers, roaches, lice in the children's hair, parents sleeping until 12:30 in the afternoon and then not even checking on their child until 3 in the afternoon when they put her to bed at 7 the night before. I mean, even just to feed and change her, even if you didn't know that she was sleeping in this extremely hot environment, just how about regular intervals of checking in on your child to feed, change, burp, whatever else this child needed to be stimulated and healthy. None of that was going on. Clearly, none of that went on with the other kids either. And these children were living in a torture home, basically.
And it sounds much like that it is. I mean, I don't understand what was going on with these parents, that they were sleeping so long. I mean, I don't know exactly, how long they were sleeping or what they told police.
Drugs.
Lady, it's drug. I'm about to say, damn well why they were sleeping that long. Had to be the drugs.
Who knows what the truth is? It could have been 100% true. It could not. But obviously they're saying they did not check on this child. But what is going on that you guys are sleeping so long, not checking on your children? I mean, they're obviously charged with neglecting all 3 children. And then Zaylin obviously passed away. What on earth is going on? And what is going on in that apartment building that maybe nobody's noticing? You don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but what is going on that you're sleeping so long or not doing anything to tend to your children?
Right. I mean, I have a feeling that the police will obviously get a search warrant to search the house to try to piece those puzzle pieces together. I mean, you do have the mom apparently making statements to the police. That's the only reason they know the timeline that we're talking about right now. So she's talking. I don't know if the husband is also talking, but the police have a job to do here. They have to piece together the puzzle of the last 2 years of this child's life. And they're going to do that by searching the apartment and trying to find additional evidence. So were there drugs there? Were they intoxicated? They're going to be able to hopefully even tell based on the parents' appearance and whether they have they're slurring their words or how they looked, how they dressed, how they smelled. What kind of paraphernalia is in the home? Are there drugs? Is there alcohol? They should be doing a full up and down sweep of this house to try to figure out what kind of conditions these children were living in. And frankly, they have to in order to meet their burden of beyond a reasonable doubt eventually when this case goes to trial or, gets prosecuted. So who knows indeed, but that is the job of the police at this point to figure it out. Or on the other hand, it's possible that the parents are lying about that timeline, that they were fully awake, that they knew what was going on and they're trying to cover it up. I don't think it's any better. I don't think that they win either way. They have tortured their children. Their children are living in hell, dying in hell, it seems. And I think the police are going to have more than enough evidence to be able to help the prosecution prove this case.
You know, it's really sad because, I mean, you can't really tell much from a photo, but I did see some photos online that showed them with the children. At least I saw one where they looked happy and like they actually loved the children. I mean, it's one photograph, but still, I mean, you're living in squalor. And for whatever reason, this 2-year-old is in a crib in a closet with a space heater. I mean, I don't get that. I don't get, even if it's a little chilly out. I mean, having that space heater, those things can get so hot so quickly, even the smaller type ones. And then being in a confined space, I mean, it literally turns into a little bit of an oven. That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, it's just so horrendous. This little girl essentially baked to death.
Exactly. I think they said her temperature was 108 degrees, which is insane. Yes. I mean, they tell you as a mom, they tell you if your child is running a fever of 102, 103, you really have to do something about it, especially a child that age. She's a toddler. 108, I've never heard of such a thing in my life. That is baking. That is an oven. And again, it just goes back to the puzzle pieces of this case, right? It's one thing if everything else was okay. The pictures on social media looked great. The neighbors said they were wonderful parents. The other children were well bathed and didn't have lice. The condition of the home was clean and tidy. And then you just had this space heater incident. But you don't. You have everything that shows signs of neglect from top to bottom, all 3 children. And that is going to be what the prosecution is going to focus on here. It's not just, we left the space heater on. Oops, this was a one-time horrible thing that everybody makes mistakes. That is not what happens here. We hear about cases where parents leave their children in a car, which is also just horrific. But a lot of times the parents say, I was on a lack of sleep. It was a one-time thing. This isn't how I raise my children normally. This is just a mistake. But the evidence that we're already seeing, even in the very beginning of this case, is
Look at them. She's absolutely correct because they're saying, according to the report, they cut the space heater on at 7 p.m. and then check 7 p.m. at night and then check back in until 3 p.m. the next day.
3 p.m. the next day. That is crazy. 108 degrees. Bro, you can fry an egg on the floor.
Hey, man. Soiled diaper and feces around the room. The other babies had lice in their head. Yeah, I get what she's saying. It's gonna be hard to make a case for just saying, well, hey, we made a mistake. When the hell, you done made a lot of mistakes up in this damn house.
Clearly,
it just happened
quite a
though.
few.
So, yeah, and of course they haven't gone to court yet. This just happened in December.
Well, they need to get them
2024.
Get them in front of a judge as soon as possible.
I don't even know, and it would have to be drugs because who can even sleep with roaches and stuff crawling on your face and stuff? Why hell no, man. You can't sleep like that, man.
Drugs.
You can't sleep like that. Let's see. Damn. Man. I was trying to see if they was gonna that's crazy.
Can't make that up.
Oh, what's up, my Darius? He says, damn. He said they my Darius said they white, that's why. Nah. Yeah.
My thing is, how much time can they possibly get with that?
I don't know. Trying to see. It don't tell. If the woman tell on the man, though, she won't get no time. She'll be out. She better roll on him. Ain't that what they say? You heard me, Prince?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I said she better roll on him. She better tell on him.
Oh yeah, man, that's what happens all the time. They end up throwing the dude under the bus. The dude ends up getting the majority of the time, and she gets a slap on the wrist. That's usually how that plays out.
Oh man, what you about to do? Your day about over with anyway. I'm about to go get me some coffee. I gotta watch me some comedy after looking at all that sad stuff. This has been a diabolical with Risky and the Prince of Petty. We went down the long rabbit hole of moms abandoning their kids. It's been sad. It's been depressing. It's been upsetting. It's what it's been. I'm getting tired. Yo, Prince, you got anything you wanted to say? You might be in a bad area. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. I can't hear. Anywho, I think Prince, I don't think he's able to respond currently. Right now. If I have time, I will be back on later on today. Not a promise though. For all those who joined, whether you're online right now or you're watching the replay, I appreciate you. Please feel free to thumbs up the video, put me in the algorithm. I will be putting me and myself. I will be putting me and the Prince of Petty description. So if you like the content, feel free to subscribe. I will make sure I drop Prince of Petty's channel in the description. Final thoughts. I don't have none. They're all sad. If you see something, say something, especially for those who have family members. and you think that one of your family members, no matter how much you love them, if you think they're abusing their children, hope that you would say something and get those kids the proper help. A lot of the stories that we saw today, the news articles that we read and watched, a lot of that stuff could have been handled if just simply somebody made a phone call and checked on the kids. You know, lives could have been saved, but you know, that's all I got for my final thoughts and stuff. Yeah, Prince dropped out. I knew he was probably in a bad area. I'll probably call him once I get offline. But yeah. Anywho, I'm gonna catch y'all later. Stay safe out there. Appreciate you all coming through. I am Risky Behavior. Peace.
Risky behavior.